Hello and welcome to Anarchy in the Ukulele with me, Paul Mansell. Today we're going to do a tutorial of the fantastic Beatles song Across the Universe, which I think was taken from the Let It Be album. It's been covered by numerous people. David Bowie, Rufus Wainwright I think has covered it. Personally, my favourite cover version is by a British band called The Family Cat that probably not many of you have heard of, but if you get a chance, have a listen to the brilliant version by The Family Cat. We're going to do the Beatles version anyway. We'll start off, I'll play it through to you, and then you should have downloaded a free copy of my arrangement of this. There's a link in the description where you can do that, and then we'll crack on and go through it. Here we go. Now what I'm playing is 90% of what's written on the tab that you'll have. I've changed a couple of things that I will go through if you want to add them, but I tried to keep the tab as simple as possible. Okay, let's break it down. We're in the key of C. The original was in D, but it works much better on ukulele in C. We're in 4/4 time, and to begin with I'm going to break down the chords up to bar 8. Okay, so we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The way I've arranged it, you've got a chord on beats 1 and 3. The reason for that is that's where the pulse of this song is. Most 4/4 songs have a strong pulse on 1 and then a medium on 3. This song's no different. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. On every 1 and 3 we're going to strum a chord. So the easiest way to learn it is to look at them. So if you look at bar 1, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So starting on a C chord, I'm using my second finger on the 3rd fret. I'm going to count this through. 1 and 2 and. Okay? On beat 3, we're going to go to an E minor chord, which from the top is 0, 4, 3, 2. I'm using fingers 3, 2, 1. So we'll have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now I will say in the original that key is actually different. If I was going to do it 100% right, that chord should be A minor, but it works better as E minor, so just trust me on that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now for bar 2, we'll add the melody in a bit. You're going to stick to an E minor chord, but you're going to change from using fingers 3, 2, 1 to just 1 and 2. Okay? And it's because we need to add the melody later and it's easier to slide to the next chord. Okay? So I'm going to do bars 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You'll notice in bar 2 I'm picking rather than strumming. The reason I'm picking is I don't want that top A because it's not part of the melody. Okay, I could strum it, but make sure you don't strum the A. So I'll show you how to strum it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I personally find it easier to pick that second one. For bar 3, there's only one chord and it's an F on beats 1 and 3. Okay, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, again I'm picking it because I don't want the wrong melodic note. For bar 5, we're going to a G, 1 and 2 and, again I'm only picking the first 3 strings. Then for the second G, strum the whole thing. So it's C, E minor with different fingers, E minor, F, F, G, and then the whole G. Okay, so that is the chords for your first 4 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now let's have a look at what's going on when we intertwine the melody. So you're going to strum that first chord and then pick the top string 3 times. And you can hear there the melody. Words are slowly. And you want that chord, it's really important that chord rings out for the 2 beats. 1 and 2 and. That's how we ensure we're doing sort of rhythm and lead at the same time. You're then going to go to the E minor, lift your finger up to pick the 0, the A, pick the 3, the G, and then back to the A. So your melody is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you couple that with the chords. So let me show the 2 separately and then together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and melody. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's put them together. This is when it starts to sound beautiful. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that's your first bar covered. For your second bar, we're staying on the E minor, but you're going to change fingers 1 and 2. Okay, you can stick with 3 and 4, but it means using your pinky up to 5. Okay, so we're going to strum the chord, sorry, we're going to pick the chord, okay, on beats 1 and 3. Okay, your melody is doing this: 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Simple as that. Okay, so your chord is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Your melody is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's put them together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You'll notice in the tab I actually play a chord on beat 4 as well. It's optional. So let's go through bars 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3. Lift your finger up and 4 and. Change fingers. 1. Use your third finger for the 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in that second bar, if you want to play the second chord, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For bar 3, we're going to descend to an F, okay? And your melody is doing the same as it is here, but down 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this song's got a beautiful descending line. Okay, 1 and 2 and change to E minor, 3 and 4 and change your fingers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The knack to getting this to sound beautiful is to really get that chord to ring out. So for the first bar, I'm strumming it. After that, I'm picking it. Pick. And I'm picking it because my melody is on the top, on this string here, on the E string. Okay? The other thing I'm doing to make it sound really pretty, I'm doing arpeggio chords. So I don't go, strum it slowly, because you really want to hear that top melodic note. That's the note that John Lennon is singing. I know he's in a different key, but if he was in this key, that would be the note he's singing. Okay, so when we strum it slowly, that's the note we hear. It's the last one. So it pricks up in your ears, that one. Okay, so we've done the first 3 bars. Bar 4, we've got the 2 Gs. Your melody is going across the universe, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2. And you can see that's built up in a G chord. So the 2 chords are 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, with the melody 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's go all the way up to bar 4. I nearly said you're doing great. That's what I'm used to saying to my students, but I'll assume you're all doing great. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, hopefully that's starting to make sense. I'm using my fingers. You could use a pick equally on this. Okay, bar 5 is exactly the same as bar 1. Bar 6 is exactly the same as bar 2. Bar 7, the first half, is the same as bar 3. So we can now go all the way up to halfway through 7. Let's have a listen. 1 and 2 and E minor, 3 and 4 and E minor, change fingers. 1, using my third finger up to the 5, and 2 and 3 and 4 and down to F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, back to C. 1 and 2 and E minor, 3, lift my finger up, and 4 and E minor with different fingers. 1, use my third finger for the 5, and 2 and 3 and 4 and F. 1 and 2 and. It then goes to this, well, it's like an F minor, but it's sort of like a cross between an F minor and a diminished chord. That would be your F minor. I'm actually doing 1, 2, 1. So it's a bit of an awkward chord. It's a G shape, but over and down one. Okay, so to learn this chord, G shape, move it towards your nose, and then move it away from you one. Okay, 1, 2, 1. So that's your chord. So this bar 7 is going chord wise 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Your melody 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. Let's put them together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For bar 8, you just go back to that diminished chord. 1, 2, 1 twice. So we can now do the whole verse. Let's go through it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When you're doing that F minor chord, make sure you pick it, or if you strum it, don't hit the A. Okay, just hit the top 3 strings. We've then got this weird little, it's like a pre-chorus that Jai Kapoor. I never know what he's singing there. Okay, I'm doing something slightly different to what's written, but I'll explain that in a minute. You're starting, it's like a C chord, but you're going to move your finger over one. So put a C chord down and move your finger onto a G. Okay, so the melody, actually let's deal with the chords first. The chords are going, we're on beats 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's like a C chord but over one. 1, 2, 3. The melody is doing that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you've got one beat at the end. 3, 0, 3 on the E string, up to 3 on the A string, back to 3 on the E string, 2 on the A string, 3 on the E string. You'll notice I'm leaning my finger over like that. It's the easiest way to do it. So let's put those two together. 3, 0, 3. Lift your finger up and play the 0. 3, 0, 3 again. Lean your finger over for the 3, 0. 3, 0, 3. Move your finger down to a 2. And then a G. It's really tricky, that bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's probably the trickiest bit, that. I'll go from 2 bars before so you can hear it slow. So I'll go from bar 7. Okay, now what's written in the tab next is 5. I'm up to a D, 0, 0, 0, 5. That's what I'm playing, but I slide into it like that. To begin with, in bar 10, just play the 5. Okay, you're then going down to a C, then a G, and a G. But your G, you're only playing the first 3 strings. It's all about getting that melodic note. So that bit is. I'm going to play 8, 9, 10 slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or without the slide, I'll go from 9. Okay? The only bit we've got left now is the chorus. Nothing's gonna change my. So we're doing a G chord, but we've got this D an octave higher. Okay, all the way up here. So just fret a normal D, the normal G, and then lift your second finger off. So you've only got fingers 1 and 3 down. Okay, then you're going to change finger 3 for 2. Okay. Then you're going to put your pinky at 5th. Okay. The reason we're changing this finger will become evident in a minute. So in this bar, we've got 2 chords that we're going between. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So starting on this G with the high octave D, and you're going down, up, 1 and 2 and. You're then descending this D note to a C note, 3rd fret. 3rd finger for 1 strum, 1, and then go back to the G with the added D. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. I can't remember the lyrics. Nothing's gonna change my. Something like that. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. You're then, for bar 12, going to a G7. So put a G7 down, 0, 2, 1, 2. The first chord, world, just pick 3 strings and then strum the whole chord. So now I do a sort of fiddly little bit there. Okay, I'm just picking the G7 backwards. G7 without the B down. Then I'm just doing a hammer on from B to C. Then A, F. Okay? But you don't have to do that. What's written is Okay, because it's only the first chord there that's melodic. Nothing's gonna change my world. It then repeats, but a bit lower. So bar 13, you're going to an F with this C an octave higher. That's again your melodic notes, that's the important one. 1 and 2 and go to 2nd fret and then back to 3rd. Nothing's going to change my... This is a perfect example of how to do chord melody. Because our melody is... and our chord is the same the whole way through. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So let's add them together. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Put them together. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. The knack to it is hitting that note, getting that to be the loud note. Listen what happens if I don't focus on that note. You can't even hear the melody because I'm not hitting it. So when you do it, your focus has got to be that string. You're hitting all 4, but you're focusing on that. And I'm doing that by slowing my finger down so I hear that note the most. So let's play 11 and 12 as is written. Okay, your final chord is a C, and you're going to click. You're going to pick the first 3 strings and then strum a C. So 13 and 14. Nothing's gonna change my world. 2, 3, 4. So let's have a listen to 11, 12 and 13. F with the added C. Bar 13, when you do the F with the added C, use your 4th finger, your pinky, for the actual C note, 3rd fret of the A string, and then descend it to the B by using your 3rd finger. Okay, there we have it. It's a relatively simple piece. I've performed this quite a few times in concerts and it always goes down well. I think it's a little bit similar in some ways to Can't Help Falling in Love, that if played well, there's no reason why you can't play it well, it sounds a little bit more complex than it is actually. It's got beautiful chords in it and you can really lift the melody out. And I like it because it's not the best known sort of song by the Beatles, but I think it's one of their most beautiful ones, definitely. If you've got any questions about that, don't hesitate to drop me a message on here and I will try my best to answer them. Good luck with it. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell. Bye now.